What's going on, everybody? Brian here from Brian's Broadcast. I hope all of you are doing fantastic. I'm back with a full review of French Avenue's Atlantis, and remember, this is not a sponsored content. I bought this fragrance from eBay. I think right now they're available on Amazon, on Jomo Shop. Go ahead and check them out, like, if you're interested. Now, of course, I'm not here to make any comparison with the original. I think it was room 1105, Wavechild or something, whatever. I've never smelled that fragrance, so don't ask me questions like, oh, how do they compare? No, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not here to compare. I'm going to talk strictly about Atlantis. First of all, the bottle is beautiful. I like this particular bottle presentation. Very unique, and in my opinion, very nice. The bottle color is like, it suits the name of the fragrance nicely. Oh, it kind of matches my cardigan too, so yeah, beautiful stuff. So let me talk about the notes. On the top, you've got lemon, orange, and mandarin orange. So there's like a lot of fruity, zesty kind of vibe. On the mids, you've got watermelon and coconut. And on the base, you've got cacao, ambergris, and amberwood. Now, what do I get from Atlantis? Now, first of all, why did I take so long to review this particular fragrance? One, because I took my sweet time to wear this fragrance on several different occasions, and you know, like the weather in New York City, it's changing constantly right now. It's fall right now. It's entering into winter. So of course, I love testing fragrances when temperatures are changing a lot. It gives me a good vibe of how the fragrance behaves. And number two, I let this bottle sit for a while. So almost like 2 weeks, I did not touch it. And there's a good reason why. Initially, when I sprayed this fragrance, hey, in case you missed my first impression video, go ahead and check it out. It will give you a better perspective, because right now what I'm telling you is after several full wearings. And that time, I just opened the box, went directly on skin. So opinions may vary and will vary, of course. So when I first sprayed this fragrance, initially on day one, what I noticed is it kind of gave me that rotten, like almost about to rot kind of ripeness level of that watermelon. So it was almost like a very funky kind of watermelon. But when I let this bottle sit for 2 weeks after those initial sprays during my first impression, this whole fragrance, the demeanor changed, right? So now what I get is this very nice, smooth, fruity, zesty kind of opening. It's very fresh. It's a very tropical kind of smell. So you don't pick up like more of that lemon, orange, or mandarin orange. But what I am trying to tell you here is you do get, as a whole, you get this nice, zesty, citrusy kind of fruity vibe. Now, of course, it's very refreshing, very tropical, and drying down like around 2 to 3 hours mark. That's where the watermelon and coconut shines. Now, of course, the watermelon is that very succulent and juicy type of watermelon. I don't get that funky watermelon anymore. So it's very smooth, very nice, and very photorealistic in my opinion. So in other words, like, you really need to let this bottle sit. In case you bought it fresh off the boat, just do a couple of sprays, let the bottle sit for like 1 to 2 weeks, and come back and report back, like, tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what worked for me at least. Now, and then what I noticed is the coconut. The coconut and the cacao, they play a vital role in this fragrance. I was really curious as to, with all these fruity notes, tropical notes, what is cacao doing in there? Right? So this is how it played out. Coconut over here, it's not one of your suntan or sunscreen lotion kind of vibe. Over here, the coconut is very much that white, I mean, one of the, the fully developed coconut, the flesh. If you extract the milk, the sweet, juicy milk that comes out, it gives you that, if you put that thing in your mouth, like, you'll feel that very nice, lactonic, sweet kind of feeling, texture. That's exactly what I found over here. So this fragrance leans from fruity, zesty, succulent opening. Slowly it changes to something on the sweeter side. Now the sweetness kind of like keeps on enhancing as the hours progress. Now further drying down like around 8 to 10 hours mark my words, 8 to 10 hours. That's where the cacao, ambergris, and amberwood comes into play. Now of course the cacao again mixes, it kind of like balances out. It's like an interplay between the mids and the base. So over here, the cacao, it works in conjunction with that lactonic vibe. So it's not your super chocolatey kind of thing, but it kind of like enhances, like from a very bright part, it's coming down to something like, I wouldn't say bitter, but the darker chocolate. It's not bitter by any means. It's still on the sweeter side. But this thing like tones down the whole brighter thing into something a bit more darker. So it's like toning down the sweetness, the brightness as it enters the base notes. And of course the ambergris here, pretty sure it's not the actual ambergris, it's probably ambroxan, but it's pretty well done. If you're not a big fan of ambergris or ambroxan in general, I would say avoid this fragrance because there's quite the dose of it. So, you know, like you've been warned. So the ambergris over here, the ambroxan, whatever, like I'll just say ambergris. The ambergris, what it does here is kind of adds that watery, oceanic kind of vibe. It's not salty. It's not salty. So you still have that sweetness. You still have that wonderful, juicy, succulent, fruity watermelon thing going on. You have this nice, creamy, lactonic vibe going on. The chocolate, the cacao is enhancing that lactonic vibe along with, you know, toning down a bit of the sweetness. And then you get this wonderful, oceanic kind of vibe. Again, it's a bit more on the watery, aquatic vibe, but it's not overly done. It's not salty by any means. And the amberwood kind of like it acts like as a balancing thing in my opinion. Like I don't get any amberwood directly. Like there's almost no woody aspect to this fragrance, like in my opinion, at least to my nose. Let me know in the comments if you feel otherwise, but that was my honest opinion about Atlantis from French Avenue. Let's talk about performance, projection, and all those things. Let's get that out of the way before I finish this review. Projection is very loud. So if you go with like 7 to 8 sprays, this thing is gonna push a lot. Mark those words. So I would expect, at least, I mean, again, it depends on your skin chemistry, but at least on my skin, all throughout, like on an average, 1 to 1.5 hours, this thing is a bomb. It's loud, super loud. So go easy on the trigger if you're around people. You have people around you like they might get headaches or, you know, asthma attacks or, you know, breathing issues. So you might just want to be careful with this particular one because this thing is loud. And then after 2 to 3 hours, starts toning down slowly but keeps on wafting really loud. So it's a very good projector and it's a room filler for sure. Talk about performance, easily 10 plus hours. Easy. 6 to 7 sprays, it's gonna last you past 10 hours. At least on my skin, this thing worked very well on my skin. I don't know about you, but if you have used it, let me know. Drop a comment. I want to hear about your experiences. So in my opinion, this is a very good buy. I think right now it's going for around what, $55. I got it for $60 from eBay, and it was free shipping, of course, but yeah, $60, totally worth it. 100 ml size, extrait de parfum, beautiful presentation. Again, this is the wonderful box. Simple, but yeah, it looks very, very elegant in my opinion. So again, not comparing it to the OG, of course I will never do that, but this thing smells very nice, very nice. But again, like I said, with the exception that when you do your first initial sprays, please let this bottle sit for a week or 2 because it needs time to tone down. Otherwise, like in the opening, you're probably gonna feel like, oh my god, that's a very funky, like almost rotting kind of ripeness on that watermelon. Like it's a mess in the opening. Like if you go, like I said, go back to my first impression video, go check it out. Like what I said, it smelled funky, very ripe, like almost, it's probably gonna rot in a day or 2. It's that kind of a watermelon in the opening. But that was the first impression. Again, fast forward to like two weeks, I let this bottle sit and it works perfectly fine right now. Beautiful stuff. Atomizer is really nice. So again, guys, this is not a sponsored content. Bought this bottle with my own personal money. If you made it this far, I would highly appreciate if you please subscribe if you have not done so yet, and drop a comment. Let me know, what do you think about Atlantis? What are your thoughts and opinions, your experiences? I'm very happy to read all your comments and respond to them. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Please take care, stay safe, and all the best.